Today, we're reviewing the top 5 best 13.2 Gale stainless steel Moonshine stills so you can choose the right one for your purpose. After 2 weeks of research and consumer survey, we compiled this list to save you time and money. In this video, we'll quickly break down what makes each option stand out, who it's actually designed for, and what you should watch out for before you decide to buy. So by the end, you'll feel confident about choosing the right one instead of guessing. If you want more information and updated pricing on the products mentioned, check the links in the description below. Those links update regularly, so you'll see current deals, discounts, and availability, and you can follow along as we go through each product one by one. If you have a question, drop it in the comments and let us know what you're looking for. We'll try to reply, and your question might even help others who are searching for the same thing. Oh yes, since we're a growing platform, don't forget to follow or subscribe to stay connected with us. Turning on notifications or checking back regularly will help you stay up to date with our latest reviews, comparisons, and buying guides, so you're always informed before you make a purchase. So let's get started with the review and dive into our top 5 list. Number 5, YUEWO Stainless Steel Distiller. If you have ever tried to get clean distilled water at home or experiment with essential oils and hydrosols, you already know the pain. Inconsistent results, messy setups, and gear that feels flimsy the second you apply heat. This style of stainless steel distiller kit is built for people who want a more set it up properly once experience instead of improvising with random kitchen parts. The stainless steel build is the main reason people look at kits like this, because it holds up better to repeated heating cycles and is easier to clean than mixed materials that stain, trap odors, or degrade over time. What makes a kit like the YUEWO appealing is the simple, familiar layout most beginners can understand fast: a main boiling pot, a condenser section to cool vapor back into liquid, and a thermometer to help you stay consistent from run to run. That thermometer matters more than people think because it gives you a repeatable reference point when you are trying to get stable output and reduce the guesswork. Most buyers in this category are not chasing complexity. They want something that arrives as a complete setup, so they are not stuck hunting for extra fittings, seals, or hoses. This is a practical entry point if you want a straightforward stainless kit that feels like a serious piece of equipment without jumping into commercial pricing. Just keep your expectations realistic with these kits. Your outcome depends heavily on setup quality, seal tightness, and cooling efficiency. In plain terms, if your connections are not snug and your cooling water flow is inconsistent, performance drops and frustration goes up. Quick safety and legality reality check. Distillation involves heat and hot surfaces, and in many places, distilling alcohol without proper licensing can be illegal. Use only for lawful purposes and follow all safety guidance. Here are some pros and cons we found to be interesting for you. It can help you to choose the right products and your importance. Number 4, DESENNIE Stainless Distiller Kit. If you are tired of buying distilled water or you want a reliable way to make distilled output for home uses, the big problem is not, can it work? It is, can I get consistent results without babysitting it for hours? Kits like this DESENNIE Stainless Distiller set exist because people want a durable build, predictable temperature tracking, and a setup that feels more complete than a DIY rig. The stainless steel construction is the foundation. It is the feature that impacts everything else: cleanup, smell retention, durability, and how confident you feel running it repeatedly. A thermometer is included in this style of kit for a reason. People want a visible reference point so they can repeat a run with the same settings and reduce trial and error. If you are doing distilled water, consistency is the whole point. If you are doing essential oils or hydrosols, consistency is what separates a kind of worked from I can do this again and get the same quality. Where this kit usually earns points is the general, everything in one box appeal. Most buyers do not want to source extra parts, adapt fittings, or deal with mismatched connections. A full kit typically includes the key sections needed to distill and condense output, plus the small accessories that stop the setup from turning into a hardware store project. That convenience is also why these kits show up in review lists, because for most people the best product is the one they actually use instead of abandoning. The trade-off is that kits in this class can still demand patience on setup. The difference between a smooth run and a frustrating run is often basic, making sure seals are tight, hoses are secure, and your cooling path is stable. If you want plug and play with zero learning curve, this category will humble you. If you can handle a short learning phase, you can get very repeatable results. Safety and legality note: distillation involves heat, hot metal, and steam. Also, distilling alcohol may be restricted or illegal where you live. Use only for lawful purposes and follow safety guidance. Here are some pros and cons we found to be interesting for you. It can help you to choose the right products and your importance. Number 3, Happybuy stainless alcohol distiller. Some people buy a distiller kit because they want distilled water on demand. Others want a hands-on hobby setup. And a lot of buyers simply want equipment that feels sturdy and not like a disposable gadget. The Happybuy stainless distiller style kit is aimed at that second and third group. People who want a more equipment-like feel with basic monitoring built in without stepping into commercial systems. In this category, stainless steel is not just a nice upgrade. It is the difference between "this feels safe to run repeatedly" and "I do not trust this after 3 uses." Stainless is easier to rinse, wipe, and reset for the next run, which matters because lingering odors and residue are the fastest way to ruin the experience. The included thermometer is also a practical piece here because it lets you track your process rather than guessing. That makes the whole setup feel more controlled and less chaotic. What buyers tend to like about kits like this is the overall balance. You get the classic distiller layout, a build that looks and feels like it belongs in a workshop, and the basic accessories to get going. It is also a reasonable choice if you are the kind of person who reads reviews looking for, does it leak? Does it stay stable? And is the output consistent? Those are the real issues in this space, not marketing claims. The downside is the same downside most distiller kits share. Your experience depends on setup discipline. If you rush assembly, skip checking seals, or ignore cooling consistency, you will get headaches. If you take your time, you can get a smooth, repeatable process. One more thing people do not say enough: these kits take physical space. They are not tiny countertop gadgets. Plan where it will live, where it will cool, and how you will store it. Safety and legality note: distillation involves heat and hot surfaces. Also, distilling alcohol may be restricted or illegal in many places. Use only for lawful purposes and follow safety guidance. Here are some pros and cons we found to be interesting for you. It can help you to choose the right products and your importance. Number 2, VEVOR alcohol distiller with thermo. If you want a distiller that feels like a step up from generic kits, the core need is simple: you want fewer surprises. You want seals that hold, a build that does not feel flimsy, and a process you can repeat without constantly wondering what went wrong. This VEVR distiller style setup is popular in lists because it targets that more predictable experience while still staying in the home user category. VEVOR is a known name in budget-friendly equipment, and in this niche that matters because people are trying to avoid the two extremes: ultra cheap kits that create frustration and expensive systems that feel like overkill. The stainless construction is a big part of the value because it supports repeated use and straightforward cleanup. Add a thermometer and you get a basic control layer that helps you keep runs consistent. Consistency is what reviewers obsess over, because if output varies every time, it is not a tool, it is a gamble. This kind of kit also tends to appeal to people who want the complete package experience. You do not want to be stuck mid-setup realizing you need extra adapters or missing small parts. A more complete kit reduces friction, which is why it shows up in top 5 lists in the first place. It is not that it performs magic, it just reduces the common points of failure and annoyance. Still, do not buy any distiller expecting it to run itself. You need to pay attention to assembly, seal checks, and cooling flow. If you are the type to rush and blame the product for your shortcuts, this category will punish you. If you are methodical, you will likely find it reliable and repeatable. Safety and legality note: distillation involves heat, hot metal, and steam. Also, distilling alcohol may be restricted or illegal where you live. Use only for lawful purposes and follow safety guidance. Here are some pros and cons we found to be interesting for you. It can help you to choose the right products and your importance. Number 1, VEVOR Water Alcohol Distiller Kit. If you are choosing one distiller kit for practical home use, you want the option that feels the most balanced, solid materials, basic monitoring, and a setup that a normal person can learn without turning it into a full-time hobby. That is why this VEVOR water and alcohol distiller style kit lands at number 1 for many buyers. It is positioned as a versatile stainless steel solution for people who want distilled output and a kit that does not feel disposable. The biggest reason it works as a top pick is consistency. The stainless body supports repeat use, easier cleanup, and fewer "this smells weird now" problems. The thermometer is the other key piece because it gives you a visible reference point, and that turns distillation into a repeatable process instead of a guessing game. When people talk about good results in reviews, what they usually mean is they got a stable process that did not fight them every step of the way. This kit also fits a broad audience. If you want distilled water for household use, the basic design supports that goal. If you want a multi-purpose distillation setup for legal, non-beverage purposes like essential oils or hydrosols, a complete stainless kit can be a solid starting point. And if you are a practical buyer, you will appreciate that you are not forced to upgrade immediately just to get something usable. Now, the part most reviewers only learn after buying, you still have to respect the process. Seal checks matter, cooling flow matters, where you place the setup matters. If you treat it casually, you will get leaks, weak output, or frustration. If you treat it like a real piece of equipment, it can be consistent and satisfying. Safety and legality note: distillation involves heat, hot metal, and steam. Distilling alcohol may be restricted or illegal in many places. Use only for lawful purposes and follow safety guidance. Here are some pros and cons we found to be interesting for you. It can help you to choose the right products and your importance. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you like this unbiased review. And please don't forget to subscribe us to get the news of upcoming reviews. Stay tuned.